Hi, welcome to Send to Print. Today, we're going to create this beautiful knitted bottle right here in Fusion 360. I know this is a breeze in Blender, but today we're doing it in Fusion using pure geometric logic. The best part, it's fully parametric. This means you can adjust the density of the knit with just a few clicks. I'm also going to share some tips on how to significantly reduce computing lag. Sound good? Let's dive straight in. First, a quick heads up about the recent Fusion update. When starting a new file, you'll now be asked to choose between part, assembly, or hybrid design. Basically, part restricts you to a single component, and assembly is for combining existing ones. But if you want the classic flexible workflow we've always used, just select hybrid design. It works exactly like before. Now, let's look at our design and some key dimensions. We'll input these into the parameter table, which makes it super easy to adjust everything later. Go to the Modify panel and select Change Parameters. Click that plus icon to add our first one, diameter 60 millimeters. Next is height. Let's set it to 90 millimeters. And then wall thickness, which we'll set to 1.5. Now, here's the secret sauce, the knit lines parameter. This represents the number of vertical columns around the bottle. It directly controls the density, and basically, the higher the value, the tighter the texture. Let's set it to 18 for now and make sure it is set to no units. Perfect. Now, right-click the root directory in the browser and select New Component. Let's rename it to Knitted Bottle. Create a sketch on the XY plane. Press C for circle, snap to the origin, and just enter diameter. Now, let's draw a wedge. You'll see why in a moment. Use the line tool, draw a line from the origin to the circumference, then use mirror to flip it across the y-axis. This needs to correspond exactly to the width of one knit line. So hit D for dimension and set the angle between them to 360 divided by knit lines. This divides the full circle by the number of knit lines we want. Finish the sketch and rename it to bottle. Trust me, naming your sketches is a great habit. Spending 1 minute here will save you tons of time later. Press E to extrude and select the wedge. For the direction, choose two sides. Let's set it to 1 millimeter downwards, and for the other direction, enter height -1. The reason we're doing this is to leave a 1 millimeter gap at both the top and bottom. This keeps our origin right at the base of the knitting area, which makes it much easier to align our texture sketch later. Now we have this pie slice shape. Go to Modify, select Shell, and pick the top and the two side faces. Enter wall thickness. Finally, use the chamfer tool to add a 1 millimeter chamfer to the inner and outer bottom edges and the top outer edge. This gives it a clean look and help eliminate elephant foot. Notice we only have one hollow pie slice right now. Why? Because a knitted texture involves thousands of faces. If you try to pattern an emboss feature around a full cylinder, your CPU will have to recalculate the projection logic for every single instance. But a body pattern is just a simple geometric copy. By finishing the texture on this one slice first and then patterning the body, we save a massive amount of computing time. This little trick is what keeps Fusion 360 from crashing on complex designs. Don't worry if that sounds a bit overwhelming. I'll explain this in more detail as we go through the actual modeling steps. Let's get back to the knitted texture modeling and see how it works first. First, we define a knit unit. Its width, knit width, is just the circumference divided by the number of lines. We'll set the knit height to 0.8 times the width, and the vertical gap between units is roughly 0.7 times that height. Now, we need to fit these units into our available space, which is height -2. Since we can't have half a knit unit, we'll use the floor function for knit number, which rounds down to the nearest whole number, and this will let us calculate the precise knit pitch. To save you some time, I'll skip the typing process and show you the finished parameter table. You can pause right here to check the exact formulas if you need to. Just a quick heads up, make sure knit number is set to no units or the pattern tool won't work later. You'll notice these parameters update automatically based on our main dimensions. This means when we change the bottle size or knit density later, you won't have to touch these formulas again. Trust me, you only want to set this up once. All right, with the math out of the way, the actual modeling is quite simple. Create a sketch on the XZ plane. Here, I have designed this sketch so every dimension is proportional to the unit's width and height. This way, the texture scales perfectly without deforming, regardless of its absolute size. Let's follow this logic to draw the sketch. Start with a rectangle and center the bottom edge on the origin. Hit D for dimension and set it to knit height and knit width. Now we're using point tool to mark a few key points. Press D and set this distance to 0.05 times knit width. This one to 0.25 times knit width. And this vertical one to 0.2 times knit height. Use the line tool to connect them, and use the 3-point arc tool for these two curves. Use the tangent tool to constrain them here and here. Finally, use mirror tool to flip the texture to the other side. Before finishing, check for that small lock icon. It means it's fully constrained. If your lines are still blue, they're under-constrained. We want this logic to be rock solid so the texture won't break when you adjust parameters later. It's the anchor of parametric design. Let's rename this to knit unit. With the knit sketch done, the rest of the modeling is quite straightforward. Go to Create, then Emboss. Select the knit profile. Target the outer face of the slice and set the height to 0.5 millimeters. Add a 0.6 millimeter fillet to the top faces. It's looking great. We're almost there. Now, go to Create, then Rectangular Pattern. Set the object type to Features. And select the Emboss and Fillet icons from the timeline at the bottom of your screen. For direction, pick the Z-axis. Set the distribution to spacing. For the quantity, enter knit number, and for the spacing, enter knit pitch. Just like that, our single slice is now fully textured. Now, we just need to pattern this pie slice around the center. Go to Pattern, then Circular Pattern. Switch the object type to Bodies. Select our textured slice, pick the Z-axis, and enter knit lines. Instead of calculating every single emboss with a feature pattern, we just copy the finished solid body. It saves a massive amount of time. Now we have many independent slices and we just need to merge them. This part is a bit tricky. Since we're using parametric design, the number of slices may change, making the combine tool hard to use. Here's how I do it. Go to the browser, find and turn on the first sketch. Press E to extrude, select the full circle, and go downwards by 1 millimeter. Set the operation to join. This merges every single visible slice into one solid body without needing to know exactly how many there are. But there's a catch. If you change the knit lines parameter later, the number of bodies changes and Fusion might throw an error. You'll need to reopen that extrude feature in the timeline and make sure all the new bodies are visible. Then hit OK again. But honestly, you can skip this merge entirely. Here's a little trick. Even without the extrude step, sending these independent slices to your printer works perfectly fine, as long as you don't manually split them. Here, I'm slicing it in Bamboo Studio. As you can see, even though the model is made of unmerged pieces, the slicer treats it as one solid object. If you look closely at the preview, the toolpath is perfectly continuous, so this won't affect your final print at all. Now, let's open the parameter table under the Modify panel and play with the numbers for a second. Changing the bottle size is just a piece of cake. My favorite part is adjusting the knit density, whether you want a chunky, vintage wool look or a fine, high-density texture. Just change the knit line's value and watch the magic happen. This model and the Fusion 360 F3D source file are available on MakerWorld. You are welcome to download and check the source file. Through this file, you can clearly see every step of the modeling and the parameters I've used. And through the parameters table under the Modify panel, you can easily modify these parameters and customize the dimensions. Okay, send to print. I've used two smaller versions for a quick print test, and here they are. The results are stunning. Compared to a smooth surface, the knitted texture adds so much character and a unique tactile feel. When you're looking at it, you'll barely even notice the layer lines. They just blend right in. I think this texture just makes the bottle look so much cuter. Okay, if you found this tutorial helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more 3D printing designs. Let me know in the comments what should I model next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.